9 days ago, I opened an intensive care unit to care for the sickest COVID-positive patients in this city. The method that we program the ventilator, one based on a notion of respiratory failure as opposed to oxygen failure, that this method being widely adopted at this very moment in every hospital in the country, which aims to increase pressure on the lungs in order to open them up, is actually doing more harm than good. And that the pressure we are providing to lungs, we may be providing to lungs that cannot stand it, that cannot take it. And that the ARDS that we are seeing, that the whole world is seeing, may be nothing more than lung injury caused by the ventilator.
I am a respiratory therapist, been doing this for 21 years. Basically right now, the way it has been the last couple of months, when they locked us down, is that any patient that came in with a respiratory problem was labeled COVID. Now that doesn't matter if it's you got stage 4 lung cancer and pancreatitis and heart disease and liver failure and everything else. You're still, because you come in with breathing problems, you're labeled a COVID patient. Maybe they died, then they would die of COVID and not of stage 4 lung cancer. So you have to recognize that if every single patient is under COVID investigation and dies, then that goes into a COVID death, and they're showing the numbers like a football game to scare you. They're showing you loading bodies into a tractor trailer to scare you. I've never in my career ever seen bodies loaded into a tractor trailer. It just doesn't happen. I wonder if those were even bodies. I really don't believe it. All of this stuff is fake. Okay? Look at our ventilators. This is non-invasive ventilation here, CPAP or BiPAP. This is a mask that gets strapped on you, and we can help you breathe with that. We're not allowed to use those. Since COVID came out, they said absolutely not. You have to let the patient crash and go straight to a ventilator. I'm not completely convinced this is a virus, and I've been doing this a long time. Do your own homework. Do your research. Y'all need to be asking some really hard questions here, and questioning your government and questioning the people in charge, and also questioning your doctors, because the doctors believe this stuff just as much as everybody else does, but they're not looking at the real information. All they're doing is they're told something, and hey, guess what? They got lives, they got jobs, they got everything else you got plus some. They're not going to go look it up. They look up the little things that they're told to look up, and that's it, just like anybody else would. Okay, so, you know, these questions really have to be asked, and they're shutting the world down. The world. Okay? And they're putting our kids and grandkids in severe debt that will never be paid off. And if you think of how many taxes you're paying now, can you imagine what our children and our grandchildren are going to have to pay for this scam? So please look up, do your homework, ask questions.
And filmed everything.
He came in with a stroke.
I know, that's what 26-1 was, a stroke.
And no COVID, and now he's got COVID, and he's on a vent. He's not DNR, but we're treating it as DNR?
Basically.
You know, when someone we're close, we'll pull the code card up and be ready. You know, we're ready. I had the epi ready. That's one of the first things we do. And she wouldn't let me give it. So this was that woman, and the entire time, and this was over his body, his alive body, and we're arguing, and she's laughing, she was smirking. And how this man died was the nurses arguing with the doctors over him as he was dying, and she's smirking the entire time. It was probably one of the worst experiences in my entire life. But all I can think about is that at least he knows that we were fighting for him when he died.
This is wrong. It is straight up just, it is wrong. And I am 37 years old. I have been in a hospital since I've been 16. Military hospitals that well.
What aspect of it was wrong to you?
Calling a patient a DNR when there's no order for it and telling us, like straight up telling us, you're not doing anything. That's wrong. If that was my brother or my father or anybody, I would be furious. And I guarantee you, if I called his family right now and told them what happened, they would be furious too.
I flipped. We were all crying. There's a lot of nurses that know that this is wrong, but they're afraid to like say anything publicly.
What killed him? Did the vent kill him?
Yeah. Oh yes. They're so sedated. He had probably 8 or 9 drips. It's all sedation. It's all sedation and paralytics. So you are asleep. It is essentially like you're under, you're in surgery, when they put you under like that for a good month straight. There's no way you can recover from something like that.
Subsequently, she wrote a book, Undercover Epicenter Nurse: How Fraud, Negligence and Greed Led to Unnecessary Deaths at Elmhurst Hospital.
I've been taking care of a patient for like a week right now, and this is my and I called him. And he's been doing great. He had a trach put in and he's been doing great. He's been talking and or communicating with me. He's telling me, laughing at my jokes and talking to his kids on FaceTime a couple days ago. And I told him I told his kids that he was doing fine. And he was. And today I was giving him, and they came in and they told me that I need to leave the room and I have to give report to somebody else. They took me from that unit and they put me in the emergency room, and they don't need me there, but they put me there, and I'm not even there 20 minutes. I'm not even there 20 minutes and I hear a code being called in my room that I was just left, and it's him. And he was fine. He was fine. I don't understand that. Nothing makes sense. Why would they take me out of his room and put me in the ED, and then not 20 minutes later he's dead? It doesn't make sense. Did they kill him? He was my one patient that was gonna live. He shouldn't have died. I don't know what they did to him. Something's not right.
I know not everybody's gonna live, but these people aren't dying from COVID. Let me give you several examples here. A patient had a heart rate of 40, and the resident started doing chest compressions on him, which is not what you do. You just externally pace them, or you give him some atropine. And then, I run in there to stop him from doing chest compressions on somebody with a fucking pulse. And then he decides to push epi. He throws some pads on him to defibrillate the guy. He has a heart rate of 40 and a stable bradycardic rhythm. We just need to give him some atropine and pace him. He fucking defibrillates him and kills him. The director of nursing was standing out there, and I'm like, can you stop him? He's going to kill that patient. He's going to kill that patient. And the director of nursing just shook his head, and I turned around and he killed the dude. Here they're just gonna let them rot on the vent. They're medically mismanaging these patients, and nobody is listening. They don't care what is happening to these people. They don't. I'm literally coming here every day and watching them kill them. It's like going in the fucking Twilight Zone. Like, everyone here is okay with this. The only way I can kind of put this into context for everybody is, and this is going to be kind of an extreme example, this is like really the only thing I can come up with, is like if we were in Nazi Germany and they were like taking the Jews to go put them in a gas chamber, I'm the one like there saying, hey, this is not good, this is bad, this is wrong, we should not be doing this. And then everyone tells me, hang in there, you're doing a great job, you can't save everybody, you're amazing, you're a great nurse. Guys, I know I'm a fucking good nurse. I know I go in there and I give it 500% every day. What I need is someone to help me save these people from being killed. Okay? From gross negligence and complete medical mismanagement. Can someone come up with like some type of a solution for me? Because I'm kind of out of ideas. When I try and talk with some of the other nurses here, and they're like, well, you can't save everybody. And they all know what's happening. They all agree with me, and they all just shake their heads. And I'm like, am I the only one who is not a sociopath to think that this is okay? They're murdering these people. I'm pretty sure that when you defibrillate somebody with a heartbeat of 40 in a stable rhythm and you kill them, that's murder. And I'm pretty sure that when you put somebody's PEEP up to like 25 and PEEP doesn't go past, I think, like 15, 20, and you blow their lungs out and they die, I'm pretty sure that's murder. I just watched a doctor drop a central line and rupture like the subclavian vein, and the guy bled to death. COVID didn't break that central line. COVID didn't kill that guy.